guys, welcome to another tutorial. I'm the Timster, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your very own smoke within the Blender game engine. Now there's quite a few add-ons for this, like X emitter and easy emit and stuff, and they're pretty cool. I mean, you can install them and then muck around with them and customize them and stuff. And I guess they're sort of a little bit easier to use if you know your way around them, but I just thought it'd be cool to show you guys how I managed to make my very own smoke without having to put all these add-ons in it and Python code. So I managed to do all of this just using logic bricks, and yeah, I'd like to show you guys how. Let's get straight into it. So go File, New, Open, New File. What we're going to do is press X, delete the cube, Shift A, add a plane, scale it, something like that, and then add another cube. We didn't actually need to delete the first one, but oh well. This goes to Blender Game, GOSL, and that is, well, we're gonna call this smoke emitter. So that's fine now. We're gonna go onto layer 2. You can do that by clicking down here or pressing the number 2. So that works as well. So anyway, I'm going to press Shift A, add a plane, S to scale it, something like that, it's fine, just so we can see what's happening. And I'm going to give it a material, turn back facing off, turn transparency on, turn alpha to nothing, and now we would add a texture to it, but we don't have a texture to add to it yet. So what you're going to have to do is open up GIMP. And if you've watched any of my other tutorials, I usually use GIMP in it at least once. But anyway, open up GIMP, new file, that's fine. Just a usual color to alpha. Okay. And then what we're going to do is select the airbrush here. Select smoke, which is there. And turn the size up to, you want it to be quite big, so I think something like that's fine. We're going to turn this up to be a bit more greyish, and I'm just going to start painting some smoke on. If you watch the tutorial how to make fog, then you could just technically use that, but I'm just going to take you guys through this part just in case you haven't seen that. Just something grayed out like that should be fine. We're actually, yep, no, that's fine. Export it as smoke, and somewhere where you'll know where you can open it up again. So I'm going to go into tutorials and save it there, or export it. So that part's done. You can close that. So now we're going to add our texture, image or movie, UV. I'm going to open this up. We're going to go to where I saved it. So get to the folder wherever you saved it, and then click this button here to see images and smoke. Now I'm going to go down to check the second box. So the first one's color and this one's alpha. So the texture will determine what's see-through and what isn't. So now we've got tab U unwrap, and we have a nice dark looking texture. Now one problem with this is we made it too dark, so we're going to turn down the alpha to something like that. What we're going to do now we have to call the smoke. We're going to go into layer 1. We're going to select the cube here, go into game logic, add an always sensor, set it to true, and 12 is a good value. Set it to edit object and set it to smoke. Oh, smoke. I need to call this plane floor, just so we don't get confused. And set the time to 60. Now if we go and press P in texture mode, it's turning up sideways, but also, what we need to do is click on this and add an always sensor and a motion and do 0.06 is fine. Join those two up. And go into this first layer, press P, and you'll see it looks pretty nasty. Yeah, it just looks like a cube going up and down, or lots and lots of planes, and it doesn't look very nice. Now, I really couldn't figure out how to get around this for ages, and sort of most of my games and stuff look pretty crappy, but the trick here is to animate the alpha, and I've tried this, going down to texture panel and animating that, but that does not work, so don't try that. Instead, go into your material settings and go down to object color and tick that. Because that means when you go into your object settings here and scroll down, this object color box right here has alpha values and all the colors, meaning you can change the color and the alpha of this depending, well yeah, you can animate it and stuff and customize it. So I'm going to drag a little box up here and select timeline so we can animate this. I'm going to go to frame 0, we're going to press I to insert scaling, actually press S, press I and insert scaling again, and then we're going to go to frame 60, so this is going to be the last frame that this plane will be alive on the first layer, since we only let it emit for 60 seconds, 60 ticks. So it's going to scale like that. And yeah, since we set this to 60, it's only going to go for that certain amount of time. So anyway, that's that part done. What we're then going to do is going to go here to object color. I'm going to go right click, insert keyframe, and go to the end here. Drag the alpha down, right click, insert another keyframe. Now we need to go here, add action, do smoke action, 60, and that's that part done. So now if we press P, we have a plane that gets bigger and goes away. So I'm going to go to first layer and press P, and get a bit of an angle. And that looks okay. I'm going to select our cube and make it invisible. Press P again. That looks okay. You can still see the edges and stuff. And that is probably because of my texture that I made. I wasn't careful about the edges. So we're going to have to open up GIMP again. Go open recent. Go to smoke and get rid of everything because I don't like this texture. So anyway, if you made another texture, or just play around until you have something you like, and then I think what I found out worked best is just holding down the airbrush tool in the middle, going around the outside like this. I'm going to override it, minimize, and reopen up the texture. Now that's a lot better. You can see it's sort of stronger in the middle and not so strong on the sides. That's what we want to have. So if we press P now, that's looking a lot nicer. But you can still sort of get the did we set this? Oh yeah. Go into the render settings and set this to 60. Oh, there we go. Okay, now that's looking a lot better. You can see the smoke sort of fading out and stuff. The only part that doesn't look so good anymore is the beginning where it's spawning. So what I did to solve that is we'll go back onto layer 2, select this, and when it's spawning it's just 100% alpha, and I don't really think that sort of helps it, because that doesn't happen with any type of smoke. It doesn't just appear, it like accumulates and then disappears after a while. So what we're going to do is go to frame 10, go into your object settings, click here, drag the alpha to full, then insert keyframe and go to frame 0, click in here, drag the alpha to nothing and replace the keyframe. So that now means it starts when it's spawning at nothing, and then the color fades in and then fades out again as it gets bigger. This means that it looks, you can still sort of see the I don't know, the jumping of it, but that's pretty much the best you can do. If you're gonna have it for, I don't know, like a specific spot, a torch or something, above some sort of fire or something, then I suggest sort of sticking the emitter so you can't see where the plane's spawning. So that's fine. That could still be acceptable, but as soon something like that, you can see it spawning. So you want to have the spawn of the smoke just slightly in or underneath where the where you want it to be emitting from. So that's all cool, and we have some nice looking smoke. But if we go into this view, we have a pretty horrible looking smoke plane thing. It just looks nasty. So we're going to press 7, we're going to press Shift D, we're going to R, something like that, then Shift D, and then press R again, and something like that. So you have this sort of angled thing like that. Now this will darken your smoke, and I've done that wrong. So RZ, do that for both. Just keep rotating them. And I'm still not doing it enough, okay. Anyway, the more you do it, the better it sort of looks, and you can walk around it more and stuff, but it doesn't, I don't know, it makes the smoke darker at the same time, and if you don't want dark smoke, then it's just, I don't know, pain, because you have this, like, say it's only for like a small torch or something, and you have this like steam engine smoke stuff coming out the top. So what I suggest to do, if you don't really want super dark smoke, is to go into the smoke emitter, and I think press Ctrl A, apply the scale, then go to edit object and track to, and we're going to track this to the camera. So when we press P, we have to set that on. Oh, that's not true. And it's done some funny thing. So we're going to press RY90, see if that fixes it. That wasn't it, so RX90. And then RY90. Oh. Okay, but you guys can sort of see what I'm doing. So if you do sort of want lighter smoke, what you could do is go into the second layer and click on your smoke and go down to here and turn the alpha down, I don't know, 0.3 or something. There we go. So it's going to look a lot more mild, and then that does mean you can duplicate it like this and make it look a lot more, I don't know, a lot sort of nicer from any angle. The only problem you have is that sort of bottom part, but yeah, if you don't really pay much attention to that or have something covering it up, then it should be fine. But yeah, there we have it. Is how you guys can make smoke now. You can use this also for like waterfalls and stuff. If you've seen my video of the FPS environment game I made, where it has the little fountain, that's pretty much all I did. And for the fire in the background, I used this setup for the smoke and a slightly different setup for the fire and stuff, which made it a bit more random and looked a bit nicer. But anyway, that's the tutorial for you guys. Hope you guys learned something from it. If you have any sort of requests or want to see a tutorial or something, definitely feel free to post it. I'll see you guys in the next video.